Morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to read Mahmoud's chapter. I believe it's chapter 18. It sure is. And he is in Izmir, in Turkey, in 2015. And he's 4 days from home. Mahmoud stood in a wet parking lot with his family, a light drizzle making everything slick and damp. Down past a pebbly brown beach, the Mediterranean Sea churned like a washing machine. A huge black and red cargo ship slid by on the horizon. No, no boat today, the Syrian man who was working for the Turkish smugglers told them. Tomorrow. But I was told it would be today, Mahmoud's father said. We hurried to get here today. The smuggler raised a hand and shook his head. No, no. You have money, yeah? Tomorrow. You will get a text tomorrow. But where are we supposed to go? Mahmoud's mother asked the smuggler. Mahmoud couldn't believe it. They had spent 2 long days in cars and buses trying to get here on time for the boat Dad had hired to take them across the sea to Greece. And now there was no boat. There's a hotel on the next block, the smuggler said. They take Syrians. We're trying to save money. We're going all the way to Germany, Dad told them. There's a park nearby, the smuggler said. A park? You mean sleep outside? But I have a baby, Mom said, gesturing to Anna in her arms. The smuggler shrugged as if it didn't matter to him. His phone rang and he turned away to take it. Tomorrow, he told Mahmoud's parents over his shoulder. You will get a text tomorrow. Be ready. Mahmoud's father huffed, but immediately turned to his family and put on a smile. Well, we always talked about taking a Mediterranean vacation, he said. We've got an extra night in Izmir. Who wants to go out dancing? I just want to find someplace dry where I can sleep, said Mom. Dad led them in the direction of the hotel. All the shops were closing as they walked back through town, but Mahmoud marveled at how clean everything looked. Here in Turkey, there was no rubble, no twisted metal. The cobblestone streets were in perfect condition, and flowers grew in front of perfect little houses and shops. Shining cars and vans drove past on the road, and the lights glowed in the windows of buildings. Do you remember when it used to be like this in Syria? Mahmoud asked his little brother. Walid was gawking just as much as Mahmoud, but he didn't say anything. Mahmoud took a deep, frustrated breath. He and Walid had their fights. They were brothers after all, but ever since Mahmoud could remember, Walid had been more like his best friend and constant companion. They played together, prayed together, shared a bedroom together. Walid had been the hyper one, bouncing off walls and hopping on furniture and kicking soccer balls in the hall. As annoying as his brother had been sometimes, Mahmoud wished he would show a little of the old crazy again. Not even the Ninja Turtle that Mahmoud had bought for him in Kilis had cheered Walid up. Later in the hotel lobby, Mahmoud was still thinking about how he could get his brother back when he heard the desk clerk say they had no rooms left. Maybe someone will share with us, Mahmoud's father suggested to the clerk. You will forgive me, said the desk clerk, but the rooms already have 3 families apiece. Mahmoud's heart sank. 3 families in each room, and the hotel was full? What were the chances they could find a room anywhere else? Dad searched on his phone and tried calling around, but it was the same story everywhere. But how could they be so full? Mahmoud's mother said. They can't all be leaving tomorrow. With nowhere else to go, they found the park the smuggler had told them about, but there was no room for them there either. All the other refugees who had been turned away from the hotels were there, some sleeping on benches in the rain, others lucky enough to have tents that looked like they had been there for more than a day or two. Mahmoud slumped in the rain. He was so wet, so tired. He just wanted somewhere warm and dry to sleep. We should have stayed at the refugee camp, Mom said. No, said his father. No, we move forward, always forward, and we don't stop until we get to Germany. We don't want to end up stuck in this place. Let's just see if we can find a dry spot for the night. Mahmoud spied a thin Syrian boy about his age approaching each of the families in the park, offering them something. Mahmoud wandered close to have a look. The boy saw his interest and came over to him. You want to buy some tissues? The boy asked. He offered Mahmoud a small, unopened plastic pack of tissues. Just 10 Syrian pounds or 10 Turkish kirus. No, thank you, Mahmoud said. Do you need water, life vest, a phone charger? I can get it for you. For a price. I need a place to stay, Mahmoud said. The boy looked Mahmoud and his family over. I know a place. I will show you for 2,000 Syrian pounds or 25 Turkish lira. 2,000 Syrian pounds was almost 10 American dollars. A lot of money when you had a whole continent to cross. But the rain was getting stronger and there was no dry place left in the park. When Mahmoud told his father the boy's offer, Dad was willing to pay. The boy led them away from the coast to a neighborhood where weeds grew up through the cobblestones, and the houses had metal grates on the windows instead of flower boxes. One of the street lamps flickering, giving the street an ominous energy. The boy lifted a broken chain link fence and led to a parking lot. Here, he said. Mahmoud's father gave the rest of his family a dubious look and led them around under the fence. They followed the boy to a large square building with boarded up windows and graffiti covered walls. One of the boards blocking the door from trespassers had been ripped off, and they pushed their way inside. It was a mall, or had it been once. A large open courtyard with an empty fountain in the middle was ringed with storefronts that went up 4 levels. A few of the shops were lit up with lamps connected to extension cords, and other burned kerosene lamps and candles. But most of the shops weren't shops anymore. They were little apartments where people lived, squatters in an abandoned shopping mall. The boy led them to an empty yogurt shop on the third floor, next to a former music store that was home to a Syrian family of 6. They looked like they had been there a while. They had a tattered old couch and a hot plate, and sheets hung from the ropes to quarter the space into little rooms. The yogurt shop had no furniture and a broken linoleum floor. Something skittered away in the darkness when they went inside. It's just for the night, Mahmoud's father said. You leave tomorrow, the boy said. On a boat? Then you need life vests, most definitely, or else you drown when your boat flips. Mahmoud's eyes went wide, and he shivered in his soaking wet clothes. He didn't like any part of this plan. His father raised his hands to his family. The boat isn't going to flip, he told them, or run out of gas, or wreck on the rocks, the boy said. Then you drown. Dad sighed. All right. Where do we buy these life vests? And that is the end of Mahmoud's chapter. All right, guys. Well, you have a great Tuesday, and we'll catch you next time back with Joseph.